I just said, hey, we're going to run Philly, Philly special. And it was funny because it was like almost you could hear a pin drop as loud as that stadium was.
So I have to ask you here. I mean, it's the greatest moment I've ever seen in Super Bowl history. You're like this. You're sitting here like this. You're looking to dial something up. The kid walks over to you and goes, how about Philly, Philly? And you're like, all right, run it. And I'm like, okay, now don't ever tell me anybody when you're talking about dudes in your ear with analytics, 20% here, you see yourself on the sidelines. Doug, you're like this. You're knee deep. You're looking. You're hearing Frank. And he just comes over and you go, okay, let's run it. What sold you at that moment for you to run that play?
Yeah, it's interesting because, and I've talked a lot about this play, but that play, I never in my mind had it pegged as a fourth down call. This was going to be like one of those first and goal, second and goal, where if it's incomplete or something goes haywire, you still got another down, right? You got an opportunity to make it right after that. And it never crossed my mind to call it in a fourth and one on the one, and so when I had just called the timeout, and I'm sure all the analytics were probably like kick the field goal, go into halftime, going up. I don't know, we would have been up 6 or 7 points probably at the time, but there's no way was I going to sit on the goal line with the team we had. And quite honestly, Dan, that's how we got into the Super Bowl is by taking risks, by putting ourselves as a team in fourth down scenarios throughout the course of the whole entire season. So we didn't even bat an eye. And so when Nick came over during that timeout and he suggested Philly, Philly, it just hit me like that's the play we need to run. And I said, let's do it. And my mic, actually, funny story is my microphone was off, so none of the offensive coaches could hear me and Nick having this dialogue during this timeout, and so no one heard it. And then Nick goes back out onto the field. I turned my microphone back on and my headset on, and now everybody, all the coaches, like, what'd you call, coach? So I just calmly yell, personnel. I gave the personnel, and we got the substitutions in the game, and then I just said, hey, we're going to run Philly, Philly special. And it was funny because it was like almost you could hear a pin drop as loud as that stadium was. I could hear crickets. I could hear crickets chirping on the headset after I said Philly, we're going to run Philly special.